Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we have a super close track battle with easily the best driver I've ever driven with and a car matchup that's basically a classic at this point. Subaru BRZ versus the legendary Honda S2000. Both cars have been modified very similarly, so this was an absolute treat, as you'll see. If you're interested, at the end of the video, I'm going to go through all the mods of both cars after the footage. My name's Eric, also known as Dad Hats on the internet. Let's hop into this.
What'd I miss? No, dude, what happened? Oh, dude, that was so fucking fun. Oh my dude, this is the best driver I've ever driven with. And they're so closely matched too. I think I got him on the entry to 1 here, and then I think maybe he started kind of looking what I was doing. But dude, that moment where he went really wide and then came in scared the shit out of me. For some reason I thought he was taking a earlier line, otherwise I wouldn't have been so close.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that footage as much as I did. Obviously, I had a great time, but as promised, let's go over the mods between the two cars. I don't know all the mods done to the S2000, so there's going to be some level of speculation here, so let's do the BRZ first. If you're new to this channel, this is my 2013 Subaru BRZ. First and foremost, the car is naturally aspirated with an unequal length header, no cats, and an intake, but tuned on E85 making around 200 wheel horsepower. The car has been dynoed, but the dyno at the time was reading quite high, so we're not exactly sure where the power is, but for the mods done to it, we expect around 200 to 205 wheel horsepower, and that's about in line with other BRZs. For tires, I'm running Kumho V730s in a 255/35/18. Suspension is the Tein mono racing dampers. They're 8K all the way around the car. And for aero, I just have some random wing that I found on the internet because I thought it looked cool like 5-6 years ago. Not really sure how much aero it's actually producing or if it's, you know, more just drag. But yeah, I ended up pairing that with Verus Engineering's 4-inch splitter. Moving on to the S2000, I have no idea what was done in terms of power, but it's definitely naturally aspirated, and I would guess around 220 wheel horsepower with the way that it pulled on me at the top end during that session. He did mention when I was talking to him that the car was actually misfiring during that whole session though. But moving on to tires, he's running the Falcon RT 615K Plus in a 255/40/17. For suspension, he mentioned he just installed some Öhlins, but he didn't mention which model he went with. Lastly, we have to talk about aero because dear lord, that wing is huge. This is the Big Wang chassis mount kit from 9 Lives Racing. Yes, it is really called that. To complement that huge wing, it looks like he has an aftermarket bumper up front. I really doubt it makes enough downforce on its own to balance out that rear wing, but he also has those huge hood vents up front that could shift the aero balance towards the nose of the car. I know some racing governing bodies like NASA will penalize front splitters, so I have a feeling that's a trade-off he knowingly made. Lastly, we need to mention that he did chop off the rear bumper. A lot of cars, including my BRZ, this sort of act as a type of parachute. So this is just one way to reduce drag. So now that we have all that laid out, I want to take a look at each category and see if we can roughly determine which car has the advantage in each category. For power, let's not spend too much time here because God, I wish I had a Honda motor in my car. The S2000 wins this hands down. For tires, we're both running 255s. The only difference is I'm on an 18-inch wheel and he's on 17s. I actually didn't check his rear tires, but I'm assuming he was running a square setup, same as me. Originally, when I looked at his car, I thought he was running RT660s since they're so popular, but the S2000 was actually on RT615K Pluses. According to Grassroots magazine, the Kumho V730s I'm on are actually much quicker in terms of pace. Advantage, BRZ. For suspension, there's not much point in speculating here, there's too many unknowns and too many variables. So let's just skip on to aero. I think this is a very interesting one because we have such different aero setups. He is a giant wing from a reputable company with very little front aero, versus I have a random wing off the internet plus a splitter from a reputable company. Maybe I'm just biased, but I think I'm leaning towards the BRZ's aero package having better rotation in those high-speed corners due to the splitter. Actually, drop a comment and let me know what your guys' thoughts are on what you might think might perform better. Lastly, I'm going to mention weight here. His car is obviously completely gutted with an aftermarket bucket seat, no passenger seat either, but he does have a full cage welded in, probably offsetting that benefit. My car still has the full stock interior, excluding of course the rear seat delete I did, as well as the trunk interior was gutted and taken out by the previous owner. Realistically, the only two categories that have obvious winners are power and grip, going to the S2000 and BRZ respectively, which makes a ton of sense considering how evenly matched the two cars were, but got their time in different places. If you guys made it to the end of the video, you're a real one. I appreciate you for listening to me nerd out, and my apologies, but thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.